Hello and welcome to Mother's Lifestyle Kitchen. My name is Sylvia and I'm going to be showing you a delicious, quick and easy vegan celebration Wellington. I can't believe this year has gone so fast. It's going to be Thanksgiving soon and then Christmas, so I really felt that this would be a great recipe for vegans and meat eaters alike to share and enjoy. My husband and I created this recipe and we wanted to share it with you all. Okay, so our first layer is the caramelized onions. I sauteed them in a pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a good pinch of salt and pepper, and it took approximately 15 to 20 minutes, just so they reduce a lot and they get quite golden brown. Make sure you cook them on a medium-low heat, keeping an eye on them and stirring them occasionally so that they don't burn. So now we're going to spread it on the puff pastry. Now, we will want to leave a bit of space at the end there so that we can easily wrap this up without it oozing out the sides. Caramelized onions there, it's really worth the time spent caramelizing them. It just makes them taste so sweet and yummy. These Tofurky deli slices have a really great meaty texture, so they're going to give a really wonderful protein element to the Wellington. I like to put about 2 layers on here, but you can put more if you would like to put more. Okay, so I'm just now pushing the Tofurky down on top of the onions, creating a well so that when I put the gravy, it's just not going to squirt all over the place. We don't want to put too much gravy or else we could have leaks happening and we don't want that to happen. So we can have the gravy later on top once it's already cooked, but I like to put some inside as well to give it a little extra moisture inside there. So this is a wine mustard gravy. First of all, to make it, I melted 3 tablespoons of Earth Balance, really love Earth Balance, as the vegan substitute. I then added 2 shallots that were finely chopped and then cooked them until they were a little bit soft. After that, I added 4 tablespoons of unbleached flour and cooked that for at least a minute. And you really want to make sure that it doesn't burn on the bottom. It's just browning lightly. And that's going to be what ultimately thickens your gravy. So then you add 1 cup of dry white wine and you reduce that completely. This process takes quite a bit of time, so just keep an eye on it and let it reduce. So once you add the stock, bring it up to a boil and then allow it to simmer for approximately 10 minutes until it actually becomes thicker. It should become a thicker gravy-like consistency. Take it off the heat and then you add 1 heaping tablespoon of whole grain mustard and 1 tablespoon of raw agave. After you stir the mustard and the agave together, you need to then add salt and pepper to your taste. Okay, so just enough to put a thin layer on here. We don't want to smother it. We don't want to give the Wellington any reason to have any leaks. So now it's time for the portobello mushrooms. I used 3 large portobello mushrooms for this. As you can see, they reduce quite a lot. Of course, cut the stems off and clean them with a damp paper towel. I sauteed them in a pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of Earth Balance. When I melted the butter initially, I also added 4 sprigs of thyme and 3 full cloves of garlic. It's a good idea to tie the thyme together so that it's easy to take out at the end. The thyme and the garlic are just in there to infuse it with some more flavor, but not overtake the portobello mushrooms. You also need to add a good pinch of salt and pepper and cook them for approximately 10 minutes or until you can tell that they're cooked through. If you're also noticing that it's getting very dry and stuck at the bottom, you can also put a little bit of veggie stock or the not chicken stock in just to deglaze the bottom there to help the cooking process. Okay, so let's start putting the layer of portobello mushrooms. I absolutely love portobello mushrooms. They also give another really meaty texture to this Wellington. It's very satisfying and juicy. We actually used some thyme that we grew in our garden. We love growing herbs. I think thyme also gives just such a festive flavor to food. You know that it's holiday time and a celebration when there's thyme in there. I think that's a good amount there. Again, be careful not to get it too close to the edges. It'll just make it so much easier to roll at the end. So the next step we've got here is some sauteed kale. It was one bunch of kale. I just washed it, cut this stem off, then just pretty finely chopped it. Doesn't have to be too fine, just so there's good pieces there. Okay, so you saute the kale in 1 tablespoon of olive oil over a medium-low heat. Just be careful to watch it because the kale can cook really, really quickly too. It's a good idea to add some of the stock and, of course, a pinch of salt and pepper. And just cook it, you know, until it's just wilted. My husband and I love kale, so we will make good use of that. Hopefully one day we can grow some. But we've only got a very little garden at the moment. Okay, so now we're ready to roll the Wellington. Again, if for any reason you've put too much filling in, you can take it out as much as you need to. Okay, because it makes it very difficult to put it together if you've put too much filling in there. Okay. Here we go. You can use the parchment paper to help you here if you need to. Now try to squeeze as much air out as you can while you're doing this. And we'll just wrap it around like that. Okay. There we have it. This is going to be so scrumptious. All right, so just turn your knife around. We don't actually want to make cuts. We're just going to make a pretty little pattern right now, and then we'll also put some other decoration on there a bit later. So I'm just going to do a crisscross here. So just do some lines going across it like this, and then going the other way too. And this will look really good once it cooks and puffs up. You also need to put let's just put a couple of holes in here. So you put the holes in it so that while it's cooking, it allows the steam to escape and your Wellington doesn't burst open, which of course you don't want. And we're also going to put it into the fridge for at least an hour to help the puff pastry rise and puff as much as it possibly can. While Wellington is in the fridge, I'm going to do a little bit of decoration. I'm going to do a few leaves. Let's just start off with the first one here. Trace it out like this. It's always fun to do a bit of decoration on the Wellingtons. It's so easy to do with the puff pastry. Usually you always have a bit of extra sometimes. All right. So there we go, we have one. Okay, so we've got our Wellington back out from the refrigerator. It's been in there for an hour. In the meantime, I melted 1 tablespoon of earth balance to use as basically in replacement of an egg wash. You don't have to use it, but I like to use it. It adds shine and it helps the Wellington brown. So I like to use it. So right now I'm just going to use it for the decoration, almost like a glue to put these leaves on. So I'll just put a little bit there. And I'll add this leaf right there. Making sure I don't cover that hole that I put there. The steam to escape. I'll put another one here. And you can go as crazy as you want with the decoration. You can make more leaves if you like, or you can just keep it plain if you want. It still looks really good. I'm just feeling festive right now, so made a few leaves. But you can do it. You could even make a pumpkin and put it on there, whatever you like. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of the wash on here. You don't need to put a whole lot. You don't want to drown the Wellington at all. Just a little bit, but just covering it with a light glaze here. It's looking good. It's going to look so good once it's cooked. I'm feeling very excited to see the end result. So now it's time to put it into a preheated oven of 425 Fahrenheit. The reason it's so high is that we're going to put in for 15 minutes at 425, which really, the heat's just going to really make that puff pastry rise. Then after that, we're going to lower it to 350 Fahrenheit, and then it's just going to steadily cook there to a golden brown, probably for approximately 25-30 minutes. Okay, so here's the Wellington. I just took it out of the oven and sliced it. Doesn't it look great? So I'm just gonna put a slice here on the plate. Looks so good. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the extra gravy over the top here. I would probably serve this with mashed potatoes and green beans or whatever your favorite Thanksgiving or Christmas sides are. It will go good with many of those. Okay, so here it is. Going to have a taste. It's so good. The smokiness from the Tofurky, the sweetness from the caramelized onions, and the wine mustard gravy. It's a little bit tangy, a little bit sweet. It just plays on all the senses. So you get salty, sweet, tangy, and the earthiness from the mushrooms, and the protein filling. You definitely don't feel like you're missing out on meat eating this, that's for sure. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and Merry Christmas and all the rest. If you enjoyed this video, we have many articles on motherslifestyle.com. Please check us out. We also have a Facebook group, a Twitter account, Instagram, and we will also be posting future videos. So please come and check us out. We'll see you later.